All right, so 4.2, like I said, is all about the angle measures of triangles. There's two main things we're going to look at. We're going to look at how to find the missing angle inside of a triangle and how to find the missing measure of an angle when it's outside the triangle. So two big ideas today. You'll have time to work on your homework in class, and then we'll continue on with 4.3 tomorrow, and then we'll take a quiz a couple days after that. Any questions before we get going? So here is a theorem. It's in chapter 4. It's the first one. That's why they call it theorem 4.1. This says that the interior angles of a triangle add together to equal 180. So there are three angles in a triangle. When you add the three angles together, they add to 180 degrees. Okay? So there's two ways to do it. If you're given two angles, you can add those together and subtract the answer from 180. I actually do it a different way. I start with 180 in my calculator. I minus one angle. Then I minus the other one. So if you start with 180, subtract, that gives you the missing third angle. Okay? Either way, you get the same thing. So you can add the two angles, subtract that number from 180, or you can do 180 minus. All right, so the way we're going to do these is we are going to start with 180. We're going to subtract the two angles we know. The answer will be the missing angle. In this case, the missing angle is angle A. So I'm going to type in 180 minus 25 minus 15 equals. Anybody know what that is?
No. What's that?
180 minus 25 minus 15.
140.
140. That's my answer. That's the measure of angle A. Same thing. All together, the three of them should add to 180. If we know two of them, we can start with 180 minus. That'll give me the one I'm looking for. Anybody know? 60 degrees. Good. All right, you try the third one. All right, anybody have it? That is correct. So we're going to do 180 minus 56 minus 34. See if you get 90. You don't need to draw the triangles, but do the work with me. So as I write it, you write it too. Where do we start?
Wait, what you say?
Just write what I'm writing. So write number 4, and then just do the work with me. You don't need any more triangles. I think you're good. All right, so where do I start on all these? They all add to what?
90.
No. 180. So we're going to do 180 minus, this box is 90, so minus 90 minus 17. That is a 65. All right, so now write number 5. Do this work with me. So 180 minus 90 for the right angle. Good. And then minus 65. You do not need to draw the shapes. Just write the work I'm doing.
But it ain't you ain't gonna
If you want to write it, you can. I more want you to get in the habit of the 180 minus. That's what I want to keep practicing.
Why? I do that though.
All right, number 6. What do I do? Minus 45 minus 90, or minus 90 minus 45?
45.
45 degrees. Good. All right, now we're going to look at triangles where you're given the x, or where you're looking for the exterior angle. Just go ahead and write this. The next one's kind of a shortcut if you're given different information, but we'll talk about it. I don't think you need to write all of it. You can figure that second half out just using the first half. All right, so this is all about exterior angles. An exterior angle is basically you take one of the sides of the triangle and you keep going with it. So you extend it out. That creates an angle on the outside. That's called an exterior angle. The way you find the measure of the exterior angle is you add the two interior angles on the other side of the triangle. The reason this works is sort of has to do with linear pairs. Because if I'm looking for this angle right here, these two would add together to be 180, right? These three inside also add to be 180. So that means that if you take this one away, these two would be equal to this guy. Kind of tricky. It's probably easier just to memorize that theorem. So the two on the inside add to equal the one on the outside. The bottom half says if you're given the one on the outside, and you're looking for one of those two interior angles across, you can just subtract them. So if two things add to give you the one on the outside, and you have the one on the outside, you'd subtract to find one of the ones on the inside. So you just need one of these in your notes. All right, so on number 7, we're given an angle on the outside.
Right.
I'm looking for this guy right here. I know that these two add together to give me this one. So if I know the total and one of the ones that I added, how would I find the other one?
You subtract them?
Yeah, so these two add together to give me 131. So if you want, you could write an equation like this one plus this one equals this one. But I got to work backwards because I know the total and I only know one of these. So that's when we're going to subtract. So I do 131 minus 112. I'm getting 19 degrees. The more common way to see it is this setup, where you're looking for the guy on the outside. When you're looking for the guy on the outside, what do you do with the two on the inside? You just add them together. All right, number 9. I'm looking for the one on the outside. So what am I going to do with the two on the inside? You're going to add them. Good. 110. So these two examples are like the ones we were doing at the beginning of the lesson, the interior angles one. So I know that the 3 interior angles of a triangle add to what? No. The first thing we wrote down. 180. So I'm going to write an equation. Anytime you see variables, you should write an equation. So if I add this one, and this one, and this one, what should it get? What should it equal?
180?
180.
Oh, I said 80. I'm at 180.
Then we're going to just solve this equation for y. So 1y plus 1y is 2y. Then what? Yep, subtract 32 from both sides. So 2y equals, what is that? 180 minus 32. No.
148.
148. Oh, then you divided by 2 already, right?
Oh, I already.
And what do you get when you divide by 2?
74.
Very good. So y equals 74 here. Now, if you want to check, take the y out, put a 74 in, add them all together, see if it's 180. If it's not, you've done something wrong. Okay? Same thing on number 11. So what am I going to do with this and this and this?
An equation.
What?
It's equation. Y plus 5, y plus y plus 5 equals 180 plus 125.
Plus 125 equals 180. So all three of them added together equal 180. See how I have y and y?
2y.
You got to make that 2y. These are like terms as well. So 2y plus what?
130
130
equals 180.
equals 180. Good. Then what?
130.
130 minus 180 minus 130.
Good. Subtract 130 from both sides.
2y equals 50.
Very good. Questions? Excuse me. All right, I'm going to do the summary up top. So we learned about the angles in a triangle. Or angles of a triangle. All right, here comes your homework.